Hi everyone, welcome back to Teacher with Wings and welcome back to yet another video where I'm going to answer another important question of yours, that is how exactly you can go ahead with the loan process to finance your MBA. Now this again is going to be an absolutely honest self experience which I'll be sharing with all of you, because when I began my MBA journey I thought that loan process is going to be like literally butter sliding through a hot knife, but that wasn't the case with me, and that has not been the case with a lot of my other friends as well. So I'll tell you the stories of a lot of my friends, how they went into the same process and how I personally went ahead with it, and where were the loopholes and where were the problems. All of that I'm going to share with all of you. But before I begin, just in case you're coming to my channel for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a look at the content. If you're someone who is embarking your MBA journey, or if you're someone who is planning to do so, I'm sure you're going to find a lot of content over here which will add a lot of value to your MBA years. तो 1 मिनट का टाइम लो, पॉज करो वीडियो, लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना. Okay, so somewhere along the same time while I'm shooting this video and sharing it with you, there is a lot of discussion going on about the results as well, if that has come or it is still there and all of this. Honestly, I did ask one of my friend who was a part of the GPIVAT process, and even he was not very clear about it, whether the results are out or not, and I personally checked the college website. So what really happened is, in my personal case, the update was sent on my email that I've been selected and all of the further details, and after that I checked on the website. But I have been through other symbiosis colleges as well, wherein there was one college where I was on the waiting list. So in SIDTM I was on the waiting number, I think 8 or 9. Later on I cleared it as well, but over there I was checking all the details on my personal email as well as on the college website. So if I am right, I think once the results are actually out, you're going to get the information on both the places, be it your email address as well as your website. But yes, whatever it would be, in the next 1 or 2 days, the proper communication will be made and you will be made aware whether you should be going ahead to prepare yourself for the first installment or not. तो मुझे भी क्योंकि बहुत अच्छे से नहीं पता है, I did see a lot of comments regarding the same. Honestly, I'm not in the position to give you the right and exact answer. I would surely talk to one of my friends or some other friends of mine just to understand that what exactly is the situation. If it is actually out, I'll definitely post an update on the community section, so you can just stay tuned there and you can have a look. Now let's get into the video and let's talk about the loan process, right? So basically, the year I am in the 2022-2024 batch. My total fees comes down to be 13,80,000 rupees, which includes both the hostel as well as the college. Let me clear this question very upfront itself. So this 13,80,000 is a non-negotiable amount. So if you cannot go for a system wherein you are saying that I'm not going to pay the whole amount, I'll just pay the college fee and I'll go for a hostel outside the college. That's not really possible, because this is a fully residential program. So you have to stay on campus, you have to be here, and you have to attend all the classes and everything. So that's why this 13,80,000 is an inclusive amount of both the hostel as well as the college. Does it include the laundry facility? The answer is no. The laundry facility is not included. Have I taken it? Absolutely not. So when I came here, we were given a chart of the laundry service as well, and I personally found it a little expensive. Also considering the fact that with girls, in my personal opinion, I tend to wash a lot of clothes. Like in a day, I have 4 clothes that I wash. तो जो हमारा जो laundry का chart था, that would have never catered the requirement which I had. So I never took the laundry facility. Though, as a matter of fact, if you have a couple of clothes like my bed sheet, my blanket, and some of the other things which I cannot wash on my own, I do have the option of going and giving it over there, and I can get those things washed, wherein the price will be per piece. So this 13,80,000 for my particular course, for my particular time period, 2022 to 24, included the college fee, the hostel fee. In the hostel, it included the mess bill as well. Okay, now in the room sharing options, you have 2 sharing, 3 sharing and 4 sharing, all of them. Right now we are in a 4 sharing option, but when I was making the payment at that point of time, it gave the option of 3 sharing. So you don't have to worry the extra amount that you pay, because as a matter of fact you paid for the 3 sharing, but you are living with 4 people, that amount is adjusted in the next semester, so you don't really have to worry about that, right? So now this is the bifurcation of 13,80,000 for my particular 2022-2024 batch. This year the fees has increased a little. Now exact amounts I don't know, because until and unless I don't really see the fee chart, I would not be able to give you the exact number. Though tentatively people are saying that it has reached somewhere around 15 or something like that. So that's a different story. That is a whole lot different story. But again, the system of bifurcation remains the same, that this fees will include your hostel plus your college fee. Hostel, your basic fooding and lodging would be included, but for the laundry services and all of that, you have to take everything from outside. Cleaning services are also included in the same, so we have the option of getting our rooms cleaned on every alternate day. Considering the girls, we are more interested in getting the things clean and all of that. Boys का तो चलो ठीक है, उनका तो चल जाता है, but हमारा थोड़ा सा रहता है, so we don't have to worry about that, right? Now comes part 2, how to fund the fees, right? You will find parents falling in all the different categories. If it is your first PG course and your parents can afford it, then most of the parents will be going ahead and making the entire payment on their own, which is fine as well, because somewhere down the line, in India specifically, post-graduation degree holds a lot of value. So mostly the parents take care of that. So if your parents are taking care of that particular thing, you don't have to worry about it at all, because again, आपकी जो requirement है वो पूरी चीजें वो वहाँ से clear कर देंगे. And parents already have a calculation on their own that how much they can afford and how much they cannot afford, right? Is it a good idea? Maybe yes. Is it a bad idea? Maybe yes. Why is it a good idea? It is a good idea because placements are subjective to a lot of things. Placements are subjected to your own performance, the performance of the economy, the number of the companies that are visiting in that particular year, the number of offers that they are giving. So this particular year, out of the blue, finance had a boost. So finance specialization had better specialization, better placements and better numbers as compared to HR. But does that mean that it should be a matter of worrying for the HR people? Absolutely not, because the difference is barely 19-20 का फर्क होता है. It's not like बहुत ज़्यादा different होता है, right? So if you are someone who can fund it, you can go ahead with it. But there is one very important thing. The moment you're done with an MBA, you'll directly fall in the tax slab bracket, because उतना तो आपका होता ही होता है. It's not that you're not going to get that much of salary. So उतना क्योंकि आपका होता है, so education loan is something which helps you to save your money, and at the same point of time it also helps your parents while they are paying the interest and the EMI of the same to cover the get some tax benefits. So if you really wish to go in that particular calculation, then yes, it's a great idea to go ahead and take a loan. When does it become a bad idea? It becomes a bad idea because honestly speaking, this year we have had placements where the numbers have gone as high as 18 LPA, which was the fixed component of the salary, and as low as somewhere around 7 and 8 as well. So someone who is getting a fixed salary of 18 lakh rupees, then this amount is like a cakewalk. You can just pay and you can just get done with it. But someone who's falling in the lower bracket, wherein you're close to that 7 or 7.5, then for you to manage all these things becomes a little difficult. So this is highly subjected to your own calculations. If your parents can afford it, go ahead, do it. But if they cannot, then I don't really think taking a loan is a bad option at all. तो ये तो हो गया लोन लेना चाहिए या नहीं लेना चाहिए उसका आंसर. आगे चलते हैं how to fund the thing. I give you one disclaimer very clearly up forward over here. मैंने अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से देखा है, मैंने मेरे बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स से देखा है, मैंने इन जनरल बहुत लोगों से देखा है. प्लीज ask your parents to keep the first EMI ready, because that amount for me, it was 3,62,000. That is so early that the banks may not be that prompt to basically pay that particular thing. There's a possibility that once you make the first installment, maybe like after a couple of months or so, the banks approve your loan and everything is done, and then the banks give you the option to take that money back as well, wherein the bank actually pays on your behalf and you get the money refunded, right? But it's a clear disclaimer, and again, I am not someone who's gonna go on the YouTube and I'm gonna say that MBA तो यार तुम्हारी यूं हो जाती है, वो हो जाती है. I'd not say that. Our college falls in the category B, right? हम लोग कैटेगरी B के कॉलेज में आते हैं. यहाँ पे लोन्स को लेके कभी कभी it varies. Sometimes it's absolutely easy, sometimes it is difficult as well, and ये बहुत highly depend करता है from which bank you're taking, who is the manager of that particular branch, who is the person who's facilitating your loan, and a lot of things. So let's just keep it simple, that try to keep your first EMI ready with you, because the time when the result comes and the time while you have to like pay and lock your seat, that is very close. You don't really have a lot of time. The difference is not much, so it's always advisable that you have the money ready so that you can instantly pay and you are out of this stress for no goddamn reason, right? So that's where I'm answering you. First installment, which is the fees of the semester 1, keep that amount ready. Now moving on to which bank to go ahead for your loan process. Now it's up to you. You can go for a centralized bank, you can go for a nationalized bank, you can go for a government bank, private bank. It's totally up to you. The one thing which I would not suggest is maybe you can avoid going for NBFCs way ahead, because any which ways it is an education loan. Some or the other bank would be interested to fund it. It might be a little bit of hassle for some people. For some it's very easy, but I think NBFC is not something where you should be putting your eggs in the very first time, because the interest is quite high and the interest keep fluctuating. So हमें अभी के टाइम में शायद इतना नहीं समझ में आता, but later on again, just as I gave you the example of 18 LPA and 7 LPA, वहाँ पे अगर आप 7 की तरफ जाते हो ना, तो वो आपके लिए ये एजुकेशन लोन थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट टू पे ऑफ हो जाएगा. So just make a decision that you will first try to get your loan from any of the nationalized bank, any of the government banks, and then if you're not really getting from there, then you can go ahead and do from the private banks as well. For the nationalized bank, you can go simply apply on the Vidya Lakshmi portal and Vidya Dhan portal. You can apply over there. There will be a list of banks which will be shown to you, and there will be a list of also the interest that they are charging, and then if that works for you, you can go ahead and make your things. You can submit all the documents, and then from there it just goes ahead and the banks look into it, right? Private bank, the system is a little different. You can actually visit the branch yourself and you can go ahead and do it. Now let me come to another important aspect of it, because I've forgotten the count कि मैं कौन से वाले पे हूँ. एक और important aspect, which branch should be your branch from where you should be taking the loan. Though as a matter of fact it does not really matter, but I would still suggest that it is always a great option, better option I would say, that your bank should be the one where your parents can visit the branch whenever required. So loan process is not something wherein it will happen so rapidly. It does not happen. Please, मैंने ये देखा था YouTube पे and मेरे को लगा था कि यार लोन तो इतने आराम से मिल जाएगा, it's not going to be a big deal at all, but it is a goddamn big deal. Please do not fall for those videos which just says कि आपको तो बस यूं जाना है और 10 दिन में हो जाता है. ऐसा नहीं होता है, ऐसा नहीं हुआ था मेरे साथ, ऐसा नहीं हुआ था मेरे बहुत सारे फ्रेंड्स के साथ भी. So I have valid actual number of people who would say that wasn't really the case.